Why renting isn't throwing money away. The math homeowners hide. Your parents told you renting is throwing money away. Every real estate agent says buying builds wealth while renting builds nothing. But what if I told you that in many situations, renting and investing the difference leaves you $250,000 richer after 10 years than buying a home? The math that homeowners don't want you to see reveals a completely different story. I'm about to show you when renting is actually the smarter financial move. A myth everyone believes. Rent is throwing money away. A mortgage builds equity. You've heard this your entire life. It feels true. It sounds logical, but it's financially incomplete. Here's what they're not telling you. Home ownership has massive hidden costs that renters avoid. Property taxes, insurance, maintenance, HOA fees, and the interest portion of your mortgage payment. None of that builds equity. You're throwing away that money just like rent. The real question isn't rent versus mortgage payment. It's total cost of renting versus total cost of owning and what you do with the difference. The hidden costs of homeownership. Let's break down what homeowners actually pay beyond their mortgage principal. Take a $300,000 home with 20% down and a $240,000 mortgage at 6.5% interest. Monthly mortgage payment, $1,517. Property taxes, $350 per month. Homeowners insurance, $150 month. HOA fees, $200 per month. Maintenance, 1% of home value annually, $250 per month. Total monthly cost, $2,467. Of that $1,517 mortgage payment, only about $317 goes to principal in year one. The other $1,200 is interest, money you'll never see again, just like rent. So in reality, you're throwing away $1,200 in interest, plus $350 in taxes, plus $150 in insurance, plus $200 in HOA, plus $250 in maintenance, equals $2,150 per month. Meanwhile, the renter paying $1,800 for a comparable place is throwing away $1,800 per month, but has $667 left over that the homeowner doesn't have. The real comparison. Let's compare two people over 10 years. Both have $60,000 saved. Person A buys the $300,000 home, $60,000 down payment, $2,467 monthly housing cost. After 10 years, paid $296,040 in housing costs, built approximately $65,000 in equity from principal payments. Home appreciated 3% annually to $403,000. Total equity, $163,000, $60,000 down plus $65,000 paid plus $38,000 appreciation. Must pay 6% selling costs, $24,180 if they sell. Net position, $138,820. Person B rents and invests the difference. $10,000 emergency fund, invests remaining $50,000. $1,800 monthly rent, invests the $667 difference monthly in index funds at 10% average return. After 10 years, paid $216,000 in rent. Investment account, $50,000 initial investment grew to $129,000, plus $667 monthly contributions grew to $138,000. Total investment value, $267,000. Net position, $267,000. Person B is ahead by $128,180. And that's assuming the homeowner had no major repairs, no extended periods of vacancy between selling and buying, and that home prices appreciated normally. When renting wins. Situation 1. You'll move within 5 years. The break-even point on buying versus renting is typically 5 to 7 years. If you'll relocate for work, relationships, or lifestyle within that timeframe, renting is financially smarter. Buying and selling costs eat up gains. Realtor fees alone are 5% to 6% of sale price. On a $300,000 home, that's $15,000 to $18,000 gone. Situation 2. Home prices are inflated in your market. Some markets have price-to-rent ratios above 20 or 25. That means buying costs way more than renting for the same property. If you can rent for $2,000 but buying the same place costs $4,000 monthly all in, the math heavily favors renting and investing the $2,000 difference. Situation 3. You're in a high appreciation stock market period, when stocks are returning 12% to 15% and real estate is returning 3% to 4%, your money grows faster invested than locked in home equity. You can't access home equity without selling or taking on debt. Investments are liquid and accessible. Situation 4. You value flexibility. Renting lets you move for career opportunities, try different cities, or adjust housing based on life changes. Homeownership locks you in. The financial cost of being stuck in the wrong location can far exceed any equity you build. When buying wins. Situation 1. You're staying 10 plus years. Long-term ownership allows you to ride out market fluctuations, pay down significant principal, and benefit from appreciation. The break-even point tilts in favor of buying. Situation 2. Rent prices are extremely high. If rent for a decent place is $3,000 but you can buy and have total costs of $2,500, buying makes sense. You're building equity while spending less monthly. Situation 3. You want stability and control. Owning means no landlord raising rent, no unexpected moves, and freedom to customize your space. These non-financial benefits have real value. Situation 4. Interest rates are low. When mortgage rates are under 4%, the cost of borrowing is cheap. More of your payment goes to principal earlier, and you can invest extra cash at higher returns. The investment return comparison? Here's what people miss: your home's appreciation rate versus investment returns. Home appreciation averages 3% to 4% annually nationwide. Some markets do better, some worse, but the long-term average is modest. Stock market returns average 10% to 11% annually over the long term. Even conservative portfolios average 7% to 8%. If you're paying $800 more monthly to own versus rent, and you invest that $800 instead at 10% annual return, you're building wealth faster than home equity alone. Over 20 years, $800 monthly invested at 10% becomes $609,000. That same $800 going to extra housing costs builds maybe $200,000 in additional equity. The emotional versus financial decision. Here's the truth. Buying a home is often an emotional decision disguised as a financial one, and that's okay. If owning gives you peace of mind, stability for your family, and pride in your space, those are valid reasons to buy, even if renting might be slightly better financially. But don't lie to yourself. Don't say renting is throwing money away when you're throwing away just as much on interest, taxes, and maintenance. Make the decision based on your life goals, not on outdated financial myths. What you should consider. Calculate your local price-to-rent ratio. Divide median home price by annual rent for comparable property. Above 20 favors renting. Below 15 favors buying. Run the numbers for your specific situation. Include all costs: down payment, interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance, HOA, closing costs, selling costs. Compare what you could do investing the difference. Use a compound interest calculator to see what investing extra cash would grow to. Factor in your timeline. Staying less than 5 years? Rent. staying 10 plus years, buying becomes more attractive. Consider your career and life stage. If your industry requires mobility or you're early in your career with lots of unknowns, renting preserves flexibility. The flexibility premium. Renting costs you money, but it buys you flexibility, and flexibility has enormous financial value that's hard to quantify. Taking a job in another city that pays $20,000 more but requires moving? Easy as a renter, nightmare as a homeowner. Testing out a city before committing long-term? Simple as a renter, expensive as a buyer. Downsizing when kids move out or upsizing when they arrive? Renters adjust in 30 days. Homeowners take months and lose thousands in transaction costs. Flexibility isn't free, but neither is being locked into a property you've outgrown or a location that no longer serves you. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I drop new finance strategies every week that most creators won't tell you about. Also, visit Own Your Finance blog for more in-depth financial tips and hacks, whether it's renting versus buying, real estate investing, wealth building, and more. Don't forget to download my free guide, Finally Break Free from Living Paycheck to Paycheck, the simple 10-step budget that actually works, and start building real wealth today. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.